Welcome to Healing Time. Now, feelings, and every time I say that word, I think of the song, Feelings, Nothing More Than some of you who are older understand that, okay? But feelings are a really big topic, and I know this personally. I'm a counselor, I've been counseling people for over 30 years, and feelings are very important when you're counseling people. Think about it. You've had so many feelings in a given day. And yet, where do you actually learn how to identify and communicate these feelings, all of these feelings you have all day? Now, I've been fortunate to get 4 degrees, 2 in Bible, 2 in counseling, and nowhere did any of my teachers teach me to actually how to identify or feel any of my feelings. And even more importantly, how to manage my feelings, because it's hard to walk in the Spirit, okay? Because as Christians, we're said to walk in the Spirit. Don't fulfill the lust of the flesh. Well, if you're walking in the Spirit, right, but you don't know how to manage your feelings, it makes the walking in the Spirit really hard to manage, because as soon as you have this very strong feeling, boom, you can be off. And it can be a feeling of rage. It can be a feeling of low self-esteem. It can be a feeling of sadness, disrespect, unimportant, unheard, and there you go. You're off to the races. Now, if you have had experiences where your feelings have gotten the best of you, and you might have, let's say, said some things, or maybe even screamed some things that you were not proud of, or maybe you even did things, or you made, let's just say, less than best choices emotionally that you later regretted, maybe had to apologize, make amends for, you were embarrassed about, because at that moment, you were not emotionally fit. You weren't up for the task of managing the amount of intensity that you were feeling inside. You weren't ready for that. It's kind of like, I lift weights, I go to the gym, right? And if someone put on a really heavy weight and I tried to squat, I could get stuck because I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't fit enough to push it. And that's what emotional fitness is about. Imagine if you could learn how to actually and intentionally learn how to identify exactly what you're feeling, and be able to, in that moment that you're having that feeling, know what it is. Then imagine if you could, even as a man, okay, because I'm really good at this, even as a man, you were able to share that feeling. This is what I'm feeling. Or to be able to ask your wife as a man, what are you feeling? And to be able to be present with her when she is sharing a feeling. Now, guys, this is a stretch for some of you to imagine this much, but I've taught many people, men and women, to be able to do this. Can you imagine having a skill to be able to identify a feeling and then actually sit back and decide, do I really want to have this feeling, or would I like to have another feeling? Imagine if you could drive your own car and you could switch that feeling. Imagine if you could, maybe you feel hurt by your spouse and you could go into another room, and in that room you could say, I don't want to stay here. And you could literally switch to another feeling. Imagine if you could have these skills. Now, just think about it for a moment. I can identify what I'm feeling. I can communicate what I'm feeling, okay? I don't have to make decisions by my feelings. I don't have to regret bad choices because of my feelings. I am driving my emotional car and no one else is doing that. I'm doing it. I'm having a conversation. I can feel myself tensing up. I can relax and go calm. Or I'm feeling like I need to assert myself. I can move to be assertive. I can switch when I want to, and no one else is driving my car. This is like a superpower once you get it, because then no one else can control you. Maybe your kid's yelling at you and you can go to calm. Maybe your boss is asking you questions. Instead of getting anxious, you can go to relaxed and actually hear what your boss is doing, because they're probably trying to improve you. Now, you can learn this. Anybody can learn this. Now, it's a discipline, and you can actually start a group and walk through this together so that you can become all emotionally fit, okay? And you can do this on a Facebook group. Get some people together, get the emotional fitness material, and move through it. Because here at Healing Time, we really believe in you being able to set the captives free. And in Western and Eastern culture, emotions are a challenge, but they don't have to be. Now, I had to take this journey myself. I was conceived in adultery, placed in foster homes, became addicted to pornography, alcohol, drugs, sugar, caffeine. I definitely know what it's like to live a life by emotions and being a passionate soul. Let's just say sometimes I'd make mistakes or I felt trapped. I had a really strong feeling, and it could last hours and days, and most of you know what I'm talking about. It can ruin a whole weekend. Now, to make it even more complicated, when you add a spouse who doesn't know how to do their feelings, now you multiply the emotional consequences of not being fit emotionally. Then you add a couple of children, and if they don't have emotional skills, now you've multiplied it even further, and you have all these people not emotionally fit, and that can cause a lot of problems. Now, sadly, we can keep repeating this pattern in families and generations for thousands of years.